Hello, YouTube. It's Little Derek.comics back with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about getting hit with a copyright. So, if you've been on YouTube at all, whether you've been making content or enjoying content, heck, even if you haven't been on YouTube and you go on like TikTok or something like that, any platform where people make content, you have to worry about, or you might have heard about the dreaded copyright. I didn't think much about it when I was, not creating content on YouTube. I was just kind of like, oh, I didn't really understand too much of the problem. And then I got hit with one, right? So I've been making a lot of videos in the past months, and, I've been hit with a copyright strike before. It's usually whenever you're using like music or something like that, that's usually what it's going to be. And it was on a video. My first one was on a video where I was animating. It was an animation I did in college, and I uploaded it to YouTube. And eventually, it got hit with a copyright because I used like the roundabout music from JoJo's, for like the memes and all that. But it got hit with a copyright, and I didn't think much of it just because it was kind of a corny animation that I didn't really care too much about. But then there was a video I did earlier on in the year. It was a Don Don video where I was kind of reacting to season two, like the season two trailer, and it was doing really well at first. It did really well. After a bit, it got hit with a copyright, right? And I'm sitting there like, oh well, I'm sure that's fine or whatever. I'm sure it'll still. I didn't think much of it, and then it didn't do too well. Like it stopped getting the traction that it was getting, and it'd been out for a while, but this was a really well performing video, and after the strike, it didn't really get any views. And so I'm like, dang, that sucked. But then season two is coming around, and I'm like, okay, I want to make a short from this video. And I couldn't even make the short because it was copyrighted. You can't make shorts from a copyrighted video. So I was like, oh, dang, that's a lot of content I'm missing out on. I couldn't think of anything Don to Don related to like make at the time. I made another one earlier in this week. Feel free to check that out. But I didn't. I wanted to get some content from this. My shorts do really well, so I was like, okay, I gotta fix this, right? So I went to check to see what I could do to resolve it. And when you resolve it, it's like, bro, if certain chunks of that video, I had just great edits. I had some like maybe really funny takes, and I had to gut a lot of that, man. The video was not even the same. I it pretty much gave me the option to, cut out certain parts. And that's what I did because anything else to where I would have had to change it would have required me to like edit it over or, and even if I did that, it still would have taken some time to like, process it and all that. And I was just like, I don't even feel like dealing with it. But it hurt, man. It hurt. And I had to like really change that up. And a lot of that video was gutted. I had some really good edits I was proud of and gone. It's still a halfway decent video, but that some of that context is missing. Some of the cool edits I did are missing, and it's just not the same. I got, a short out of it, man, but it was ugh. So, what are some ways to avoid this? If you're making content, you might be a little intimidated by, putting music or something in your video, which honestly, you should. A copyright strike can hurt, but, it's always better to put out content. So, what's my advice for avoiding getting hit with a copyright strike? So, one thing is looking for royalty-free music. This is gonna be music that's kinda open source or that doesn't, have copyright over it. It's something you'd have to look out for. I tried to do it. It was kind of a pain, but, that will definitely keep you from getting hit with a copyright because there's no copyright to be hit with. So, another thing that I do on a lot of my videos is that I will have a song and then I will lower the volume so you can kind of barely hear it. I might still get hit with a copyright later on, but it's a lot harder for them to tell, I guess. And it might be fine since I'm kind of talking over. It's not like the main part of the video. It's just kind of more ambient music that you can kind of hear on the low. So, that's another thing you can do that I've been decent with. Like I said, I might get in trouble for it later, but for right now, I'm good. And another thing you can do is make your own music. There's free software out there for you to kind of make your own little beats and tunes. So, if you know a little bit about music, even if you don't, I'd go and encourage you to experiment and just kind of make something. You'd be surprised at what you can make. You don't necessarily have to be a musician to make music. It's kind of like you don't have to necessarily be an artist, quote unquote, to make art. I say that a lot on my channel, but yeah, go ahead and make your own little beats and music, or hire somebody to make a song for you if you have the funds. If money isn't a problem, I know that money can be an issue, but that's why I said make a few beats. You can find some free software out there. And lastly, you can do a little bit more with your edits. So I have like a little character and stuff like that. And one issue that I think I had was that, it was pretty much the straight trailer. I played the trailer like one time through, and it was pretty much my voice. I didn't have my character over it. And that's where a lot of it got gutted because it wasn't really transformative. You have to be a little bit more transformative because the more you make something your own, the less likely somebody has ownership of it. You know what I mean? So, if I had like a drawing, right, and then I'm constantly over the drawing, I'm constantly superimposed and talking, and there's less of the trailer being shown, and it's more me, and I'm pausing a lot, I'm rewinding, the full trailer isn't playing out. That makes it more of my content and less of the original content. So the more you're transforming that content, the more you're talking about, or the more you're changing it, the less likely you are going to be hit with a copyright. So keep all of that in mind. But yeah, that's pretty much the video. I just wanted to give some tips and suggestion and warn, some creators about the dangers of getting copyright. You can really tank your video by getting hit with a copyright. So let me know if this has ever happened to you. I'm sure if you're a creator of any sort that you've been creating for a decent bit of time, it's happened. Um, Let me know what you do to resolve it, how you avoid it. I'd love to know. It definitely help me out. But yeah, let's help each other out in the comments, and be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.